Welcome back to Turf Talk. Vance, 50-point races in the books, 100-point races coming this weekend and the next two after that. Thought it'd be a good time to assess the overall quality of the three-year-old crop. I think it's pretty good.
I think it is too, and it's also nice to see Bob Baffert back with, well, he hasn't been exactly gone, but he hasn't won a Kentucky Derby in, 13 years now since War Emblem. So he's got the
and hasn't developed one for, I guess that'd be 17 years then?
Yeah. And it's great to see he's got the two top leading contenders in Dortmund and the American Pharoah, the champion 2-year-old, and both of them look like really good hot prospects at the moment.
Yeah, they're tied for first on the KentuckyDerby.com poll, and then depending on where else you look, they're pretty much 1-2 everywhere else. And interesting, you mentioned Baffert. To me, now having covered this game for almost a generation, not quite, but a little shorter than your time period, but it's really fascinating the cyclical nature of trainers. I remember when I was breaking in, Dwayne Lukas could do no right. He was a butcher, he tore his horses up, and granted, some people still feel that way, but there's definitely been sort of a change. When Will Take Charge was doing his thing in Oxbow, everyone loved him, and he always had a soundbite for the media. That used to be Baffert, and now he's kind of the guy people aren't sure about. Oh, he can't win the big one anymore. Grade 1 company like Game On Dude. People question things like that. But he did finally win the Classic with Bayern. But and Zito's sort of in that mix too. Do you agree with that, or do you just think whoever has the good one's going to be a target?
Well, going back to your example in the 90s, it was always about Zito and Baffert and Lukas, and all three of them have kind of taken their lumps, and like you said, in the last 15 years or so. Zito really hasn't come back to that yet, But maybe with Keeneland back to dirt, we'll see more of him.
That's possible.
Yeah, we're still waiting for him to get a good 2-year-old back. Good 2-year-old.
That's true. Well, we will see Fermento most likely in Toyota Bluegrass Stakes, and we'll see Lukas with Mr. Z in Louisiana Derby, and you'll probably start some maiden in the Arkansas Derby or something like that. But yeah, it is fun to have them back. And then, more importantly, to what we started the conversation, overall, even past Baffert, this is a pretty good group.
Yes, Upstart's really doing well in Florida. Pletcher's horses obviously have to be respected.
Sure.
So, and it'll be good to see how well they do in the Bluegrass and the Arkansas Derby coming up.
No doubt. And these 3-year-olds will have to be good the rest of the year because the older crop waiting for them, Shared Belief, California Chrome, Bayern, et cetera, won't be an easy task to fell them in the fall, but certainly will be fun to watch. But we won't look too far ahead. Got the 100-point races over the next few weeks, Derby in only 5. Vance should be a fun April.
It should be. I want to go quickly address an interesting tweet you had on our Derby chat this morning.
Okay.
You thought this might be a point given / a Fleet Alex kind of Derby where the best 3-year-old might not win it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was thinking like a horse like Dortmund or American Pharoah wouldn't shock me if they didn't get it done in the Derby for whatever reason. There's a lot of stuff can happen, not their day, et cetera, et cetera. Knowing how Baffert is, those horses would go on with it, and very easy to see them winning the Preakness and or Belmont. And that's a big reason why I like Mr. Z from a Derby perspective. We know he can sort of hang with the best in his class. In 05, we had Giacomo, who upset the world. 01 was Monarco, so not quite as big an upset, but still an aberration compared to point given. I was just kind of feeling like this group is good enough where not necessarily the best one is going to win on the biggest day.
And it looks like Mr. Z is going to add blinkers for the Louisiana Derby on Saturday.
Dropping them.
Or dropping
them,
excuse me.
No blinkers.
So, you like that move?
Sure. I don't doubt the king.
All right.
So we'll see you next week. We'll see if I was right about Mr. Z, or maybe have to wait a few weeks for that. But either way, we'll have interesting conversation. Talk to you then.
See ya.